Go in peace, Herald of Andraste.
Have you gone completely mad? Take the Crown Royal immediately to be tried by whomever becomes mine. The prisoner failed, Seeker. The breach is still in the sky. For all you know, he intended it this way.
I do not believe that.
That is not for you to decide. Your duty...
Chain him! I want him prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that, and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
Let me guess. You need my help.
You have done plenty. Your actions will be taken into account by the new Divine.
Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
But not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to him for help.
So his survival, that thing on his hand, all a coincidence?
Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour.
Though all before me is shadow, it shall the Maker be my guide.
We lost everything then. Out of nowhere, you came.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order, with or without your approval.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
If you're truly trying to restore order...
That is the plan.
Help us fix this, before it's too late.
Perhaps another time. Look who's back from the dead. Again.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making knows where, though. So, you're welcome.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you can pay me back by fixing the world. Name's Zidane. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too. You're back. And in one piece.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajin's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
Farewell.
You're back. And in one piece. You're back. And in one piece.
The chosen of Andraste. The blessed heroes sent to save us all.
Am I riding in on a shining steed?
I would have suggested a griffon, but sadly they're extinct. I've journeyed deep into the Fade and Every great war has its heroes. I'm just curious what kind you'll be.
What do you mean ruins and battlefields?
Any building strong enough to withstand the rigors of time. Both attract spirit. When I dream in such places, I go deep into the Fade. I can find memories no other living being has ever seen.
I imagine you find...
Exactly. The thrill of... I will stay there.
Was that in doubt?
I am an apostate surrounded by... Cassandra has been accommodating. But you understand my caution.
You might dislike the circles.
Agreed. But now let it... Closing the breach is our primary goal. Any artifact of such power is dangerous. The destruction of the Conclave proves that much.
You don't think whatever created the explosion was
The artifact... I will not believe it destroyed until I see the shattered fragments with my own eyes.
We would do what...
Whatever the art... In any case, did you need me for anything?
What do you know about the Fate?
A great deal, from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned. Simply put, It is a tear in the veil. Small tears occur naturally when... But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created to...
I'd like to know more.
The Chantry says that demons hate the natural world and seek to... But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations. Spirits wish to join the living. And a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a...
Not in the world, but the question is a good one. And it matters that you thought to ask.
I'd like to know more about the veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world. But according to my studies in ancient elven lore, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the...
It sounds like it...
And dangerous. But yeah, instead, I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril. Goodbye.
So, I mean, most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
I'm just glad I'm...
I still can't believe... For days now, we've been... Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that...
I like to think thousands of people... Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
It's pure...
Good. You might want... Hero... Need something?
The red lyrium
We located an ancient Tig, so old it barely... Bartrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
So what is it?
The red stuff? It's not just a I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
What makes it...
Regular lyrium can mess you up. Red lyrium. And then, it also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from...
How did the red lyrium...
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. Did someone find more of it in the deep roads?
I think that's enough.
Yeah, not... Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
You from
Fremont. And despite whatever you've heard, no. Kirkwall's... In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write. To be honest, I always wind up babysitting my informants, and... Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business, and...
You're an author?
I started... Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally. The Seeker had questions about that, and
Where did you get...
I broke 36 lockpicks and blunted 9...
Who is she named?
I can't tell you.
And the...
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem.
Thanks for checking, anyway. No, my lord, I don't know where the other nobles... Oh, Thrin. If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in. I'm making this We're stretched thin on materials. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
If I have material...
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
How does some...
I served after the Queen of Nora. It was a kindness. She knew I supported her father and got me away from the political garbage.
You're loyal.
Thank you. I apologize. Sister Liliana told me I'll make sure that both are... Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
Farewell.
Make her go with... Thanks for checking anyway.
How do you think they'll close the fuse hole in the sky?
Ally with the Templars, I'd imagine. Seen them with magic.
What about the rebel agents?
Me?
Does it trouble you?
It stopped spreading.
We take... What's important is that your mark is not... You've given us time, and Solas believes a second attempt might... The same level of power used to open the breach in the first place. That is not easy to come by.
Clearly.
We do. You've met Commander Cullen, leader of the Inquisition.
It was only for a moment on the field.
This is Lady Josephine Montelier.
I've heard much. It's a pleasure to meet you at last. My position here...
She is our spy.
Yes, tactfully put, Cassandra.
That's an impressive...
I mentioned that...
Which means we must approach the rebel...
And I still disagree. But...
We need power, Commander.
Might destroy us all. Templars could suppress the breach, weaken it.
Pure speculation.
I was a Templar.
Unfortunately, neither group will even speak to us. The Chantry has denounced the Inquisition, and you specifically.
They still...
That is not... Some are calling you the Herald of Andra. The remaining clerics have declared it black.
Chancellor Roderick.
It limits our options. Approaching the Mages or Templars for help is currently out of the question.
Just how am...
People saw what you did at the temple. How... They have also heard about the woman seen in the rift when we first...
Even if we tried to stop that...
Which we have not.
The point is,
It's quite the title, isn't it? How do you feel about that?
I'm no...
People are desperate for a... And to others, a symbol of everything that's gone wrong.
So if...
Well, let's be honest, they would have sent...
And you not being...
There is something. A Chantry cleric. She is not far, and knows those involved far better than I. Her assistance could be invaluable.
I'll see what she...
You will find Mother Giselle tending...
Look for other opportunities to...
We need agents to...
In the meantime, let's think of other
Has nothing to do with fairness. We simply can't accommodate them if they bring that many servants.
I will speak to the Duchess. She can be reasoned with, after a fashion.
The Inquisition cannot remain, Ambassador. If you can't prove it was founded on...
This is an But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked his life to... Sir Trevelyan, may I present the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinia's greatest supporters.
And House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
This is the first I've heard of it.
My wife, Lady Machin of Denmark. We were honored to lend its use to Divine Justinia. I will not let an upstart order remain on her holy grounds.
Demons are...
Haven is the d'Aurelion...
Has Empress Selene I was unaware, Her Imperial Majesty.
The Empress...
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine... She would, in fact, trust us to forge...
I'll think on it, Lady Montillier.
Do the d'Aurelion...
His Grace's position. If the Marquis wishes to claim... Her current concerns are a bit larger than minor property disputes.
I'm so pleased.
His Grace is only the first of many dignitaries.
You expect more people?
Undoubted. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
May I ask what...
Sister Leliana, for better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised. For some years, I was the nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with...
The Inquisition is...
Thank you. Thedas is politics, but please excuse me. What may I do for you?
What exactly does your job entail?
I meet with them. We are a young cause. Diplomacy is essential to our credibility. Farewell.
You're the Herald. Or, well, the one they're calling the Herald, anyway. I hope the Inquisition can restore order soon. I never really wanted to leave the Circle.
Speak only the word. Sing only the chant. Then the golden city is thine, and I shall embrace you. In my arms lies eternity.
What did dwarves do when magic lights in the shadow?
We call the Templars.
Come to me, child, and I shall impassioned breath does the dark arms creed.
I'll make her hear my cry.
Ugh.
You're kind of a force of nature, aren't you?
When I need to be.
It's impressive.
You flatter me.
I'm trying.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
What does your faith tell you?
I believe you are innocent. I believe more is going on here than we can see. And I believe no one else cares to do anything about it. They will stand in the fire and complain. But is this the Maker's will? I can only guess.
You don't think I'm...
I think you were sent to help us. I hope you were.
What's going to happen?
Now, we deal with the chant. Then we after that, and if there are consequences, I only pray the price is not too high.
You didn't have any...
Didn't I? My trainers always said, I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in run. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. You've said you don't believe you're chosen. Does that mean you also don't believe in the Maker?
I believe he exists.
That's comforting. Surely the Maker put us both on this path for a reason. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us. It occurs to me I don't actually know much about you.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
I thought you knew that.
I suppose I could ask Liliana. She has collected a frightening, but I don't want to ask her. I want to hear it from you.
I was born in Ostwick.
The Trevellians, is it not? A large clan. Tell me, Do you consider the Free March as your home? Are you eager to go back?
Wherever I am.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would? Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
No motivation beyond...
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. That's all there is to know, my lord.
You're a member...
The Pentaghosts are a very large...
Really?
And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghosts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
And you joined...
It was a life... The Pentaghosts are... Most are fat and My brother was all that kept me in Navarre. Once he was gone, so was I.
Tell me about your...
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
You don't seem to like...
My family, what little I saw. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on. Thus I did not see Navarra. The real Navarra until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
Your uncle?
They had the misfortune of... The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
Your uncle was
a death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like Navarrans spend more time on... It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will
So you were the...
To Divine Justinian, yes. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine.
Unusual, huh?
I will tell you. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a...
What is your hand capable of? Liliana and I extended it. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really...
Justinian knew. She tried to have... Sometimes you have... It was to be the answer. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So what's the story?
Sweet Andras. It was... what, 18, 20 years? The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
You're stalling.
To hear others tell it, rather impressive.
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral. But I had help from loyal... They freed the dragons from magical... Yet I became the right hand. And they are forgotten.
What happened?
They went back. Many of them died at the conflict.
You're delightful.
No. I object. There is nothing...
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
I'll let you get back to work.
Do you need something?
Can you tell me more about the Seekers?
The Seekers of Truth were born from the original Inquisition long ago, when it united with the Church. Seekers stood above. We were meant to be incorruptible, above reproach. How seldom does reality match the ideal?
Why did your order...
We originally It was felt most holy had tasked. The Seekers saw themselves as justified, and they led the Templars into a war of righteousness.
You sound like you...
We knew what we looked into, but we found so many shocks. If we'd been there when it happened, if we'd looked harder at the root causes, when faced with a we would find an answer, but only the moment the mages voted for independence, our response was predictable. It was difficult to watch.
What are?
Those who know any... We do not use lyrium, however. Our abilities are different. We disciplined the Templars and were accountable only to the Divine. And not even her, truthfully.
So, the Seekers commanded...
No. The Templars have always feared us. When it's... That kind of power is troubling. If you don't see a problem, it doesn't exist. If someone insists it does, they are the blind ones.
You mentioned that Seekers...
Entirely. Ours come from ritual and men. We cannot be possessed by demons and are in... Seekers can gain other gifts, but that depends on the individual.
What kind of gift?
I can set delirium within a person's blood aflame. Some Seekers use it to interrogate. Others... Once there was a Seeker who could use it to kill. That particular gift is considered rare.
How does someone become...
Most Seekers begin training in their youth. I was much older. We train rigorously for years. Our bodies and minds must be elastic to undergo the vigil, and most fail even then.
Is the vigil...
It is the rite every Seeker must... A full year of... We empty ourselves of all... And the moment it finally ends... It's wonderful. Faith realized.
I wish I could experience...
If the vigil was not so arduous, what if mages never needed to fear possession by demons? I'm told it is impossible, however. I suppose I'll never know the truth.
I've no more...
Yes?
May I ask you about the Chantry?
They have no Templar. It has fallen apart when everyone needs it the most. I ache to think what this will mean in the days to come. The problem now is that no clear successor to Justinia exists. We shall see what happens. I am no longer in a position. Some might agree. Dealing with him further. Andraste had a dream for... I suppose history shall one day... Andraste had a dream for us. If we are to spread the Maker's word across the world, we must do so with open hearts. A chance for renewal is enough. Do you need something?
I have some more questions.
As you wish.
Tell me about your...
Anthony was older than I, a dragon hunter, who showed what a Pentagast could truly be. I idolized him. I wanted to hunt dragons as he did, even though our uncle... Anthony promised to train me in secret. We would hunt together once, and then he died on me.
I'm sorry.
No. A group of apostates wanted dragon blood. He refused, and I begged the Chantry to let me become a Templar. Instead, it took many years to let go of my drive for vengeance.
I think I understand.
At times I could not breathe. I sometimes wonder how different my... Would I be a dragon hunter? Married to some noble fool? I take solace in believing the Maker has a plan, but he is not all...
I'll let you go.
I trust all is well.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Your grace, touch me with